This is Heartstopper, or at least the main cast of characters from the show's recent third season. Heartstopper is a quite popular LGBTQ plus show that focuses on Charlie and his group of friends, many of whom are dealing with being queer and their identities in a British secondary school setting. Representation in Heartstopper is done a lot differently than it is in a lot of other shows, and fortunately, this is one of the good examples. This show builds up positive representation of many marginalized identities, including characters with multiple intersecting identities. Added onto that is the show's ability to demonstrate the struggles that they face because of society's reactions to those identities. There are a fair amounts of the show where they are grappling being out or not because of the obvious backlash that is going to come with being openly queer in society. All of this makes the show feel like it's not just, virtue signaling or tokenizing characters, which is known to happen in Hollywood. While there is a lot of good representation, it is worth noting that the two leads are cisgender white men. That being said, they do well with showing their individual struggles. For Nick in particular, it has shown how he deals with the journey of realizing he is bi, especially with Compet, and how he is treated with coming out as bisexual. Being told a lot that he doesn't look gay or that he's just gay and not bisexual. He and the other lead, Charlie, are bullied when they are out. This in particular happens to Charlie, even from people that Nick used to be friends with at the beginning of the show. They have a very nice and wholesome relationship, but one that also deals with the fact that being openly queer attracts negative comments from people. One of Charlie's close friends is Elle, who is a trans woman of color. They highlight how she was treated before she went to an all-girls school. Not only this, but at no point was she just portrayed as a trans person. They actually show her struggles of anxiety and just how it feels to be the new girl at a school compared to just making her the trans girl. At her new school, Elle meets Darcy and Tara, who are a lesbian couple who have been keeping their relationship under wraps for a while. We see another example of compulsory heterosexuality when Tara and Nick are pressured to get together. For both of them, they are presumed to be straight, and therefore they need to be with each other. Tara and her girlfriend also see a fair share of bullying after coming out at school, and we see Darcy be scared to death to come out to her mom, since she doesn't support Darcy even dressing as she prefers to in the first place. Possibly my favorite character's representation of an identity and a journey is Isaac. He is aromantic and asexual, something that he has a very tough time coming to the conclusion of. In his friend group, he's surrounded with three couples who are talking a lot about love, which does uphold the allonormative standards of society. You can see how it makes him feel a bit ostracized when the topic of relationships comes up and he really has nothing to add and feels disinterested. I think Eden Lawrence makes a very good point in a blog post on the Brooklyn College Vanguard about Heartstopper being able to put to rest the myth that asexual people are incapable of loving anybody. Heartstopper is able to show how much Isaac really does love and care for his friends, and it also provides uncommon aro-ace representation. A lot of this representation is pretty hard to find in popular media, especially when you're looking for authentic representations. It is able to show that marginalized people are actively fighting the power in society, but that they can also live a good and happy life at the same time. I think it tells a proper tale of how life can be for people with many of these identities. Tavi Pollard of Register Forum calls this a step forward for LGBTQ plus representation in the media. They posit there is enough representation that everyone is bound to find at least one person that can make them feel understood. I definitely agree with that. I think that there's a wide range of experiences showcased in Heartstopper that it's hard not to find someone that you don't relate to on at least some level. There has been criticism of the show and how it portrays the queer experience in a very positive light. However, I believe that what makes it work is how authentic it is. For many marginalized individuals, there are much worse outcomes, and for them, it would be unrealistic for anybody in their life to be accepting of them. But in other instances, this could be realistic to their life. As James Gregg, in an article for Days, says, Heartstopper is expected to shoulder the burden of providing an authentic representation of the queer experience. But there is no such thing as the queer experience, just as there is no queer sensibility. I absolutely agree, and I think he's right. And what matters really about Heartstopper is how genuine it is with its queer representation and how it does it very respectfully.